So coming up in this video, I talk about my big year so far, some summaries of some of the adventures I've had across Cornwall, North Wales and Scotland, a little bit of insight into some of the birders that I've spoken to along the way, and also recap on how my big year has actually progressed from just being a Wiltshire year list to a full-on, full-scale UK-wide big year. So keep watching to see how this goes. Well, welcome to Winging It with Harry. What a year it's been so far during my big year. I am absolutely over the moon that I am on 265 species, and we're only in the beginning of July, but it hasn't always started off exactly as you might think. Right at the beginning of the year, I was actually planning on doing a Wiltshire only big year. Well, I'm here in my local patch, Langford Lakes, which is a stunning little place in South Wiltshire, looking for an American duck. But the primary focus was in Wiltshire, trying to find my first ever Wiltshire white-fronted goose. However, this geese influx of white-fronted goose and even rarer bean goose led me to start thinking, well, maybe I need to go further afield. I wanted to check out bean goose, but I had to go just over the border from Wiltshire to try and look for these things.
Got one. It's in amongst the swans, just here. It's amazing, I can't believe we've finally done it.
From that point, I then started to go to other places like Staines.
It's not that bad, honestly. Look, the skies are blue. It's a beautiful day.
This is what you do for love, darling.
Well, there are two birds we're going for today. One is lesser scaup and the other one is greater scaup. Well, success. We haven't looked fully around yet, but we have just seen the lesser scaup.
I wanted to see great scaup and lesser scaup in the same place, and they were both at Staines Reservoir in January. But again, that was taking me away from my Wiltshire county into the rest of the UK. Finally admitting to myself, do you know what, I'm actually doing a big year. Now, for anyone who knows me, I've actually done a big year before in New Zealand, and that was quite a life-changing event.
Here we go. Mission complete. Chatham Petrol.
I sold my house, I put everything I had into it. I was still working full-time at the time, and I was able to beat the all-time New Zealand record prior to that year. Unfortunately, so did someone else, and they also beat me too. So I have the second highest ever New Zealand big year record.
The next year, I'm essentially doing what's called a big year.
So this is arguably one of the best moments of the year. So
Superb bird, only the second time I've ever seen this bird in New Zealand.
And this was full of adventures. I wrote a book about it, chartered a ship up to the Kermadec Islands, did all the sub-Antarctic islands by boat, including experiencing 12-meter waves where people were breaking their arms and cutting their lips open. It was a mega trip, and I ended up seeing 245 species, which by New Zealand standards is incredible. The previous record before that was only 220 species, to give you some context. And unfortunately for some of that, for 4 months I was stuck in lockdown. But it was an epic year. So 246 species was my target for this UK big year. As I said before, I'm on 265 species. So I've way past that. I passed that in May, I think, or early June, and I'm trying not to set new targets of big numbers. It's just I prefer to just enjoy the journey and enjoy the birding. So after I'd finally admitted to myself back in early February that I am actually doing a big year, the first huge trip that I did was down to Cornwall.
Winging it with Harry, this morning I've driven all the way to Cornwall, first stop, a Tesco. Literally just down here, I don't know, 10 metres away or so, right next to Tesco, there's a lesser yellowlegs, only the second time I've seen it in Britain, and this guy is an absolute stunner. I'm here now in my second spot, which is also a car park in Cornwall, looking for a bird called Bonaparte Skull. There we go, yeah, got it. Spreading the wing.
I then spent a little bit of time looking for this fabulous dusky warbler, a world lifer for me. But of course, it wasn't just ticks, there was also dips as well. I'm pretty certain that I had a Pacific diver out at sea, but just wasn't able to identify it from black-throated diver at such distance. So who knows about that one. It's really important that when I'm doing this big year that I'm 100% certain of every bird I see. This Cornwall trip was just fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I was there for a couple of days only, so I really tried to squeeze in as much as I could within the time available, and what fantastic birds I did see. So a little bit on the rules I'm using for a big year. I am saying that I am allowed to see or hear most of the species that I see. The only exception to where I won't count a herd only bird is if it is a lifer, either a UK lifer or a world lifer. I feel on those occasions they're birds that I have to see. So but anything else, I'm happy to count a grasshopper warbler as herd only, as I have done this year. And a few other birds will be herd only on my list. Officially, if you're doing a big year in most countries, they do count herd onlys. In New Zealand, however, I did have to see them, but for the UK, most people's listing rules is herd only is fine. So lots of individual trips for me, going up to Gloucestershire.
And guess what I've just seen fly over? 3 Buick swans. Buick swans is the rarest swan in the UK. And what I love about Buick swans is the black is actually unique to the individual swan. Being this close up, you can actually see that so clearly from bird to bird. Just been told there's a jacksnipe viewable from the height ahead, so I'm rushing there now as quickly as I can. Oh my God, here's the jacksnipe. You can actually see it bobbing up and down as well, that's amazing. Oh my God, I don't think you've lived until you've seen a jacksnipe bob up and down.
One of the birds that I really struggled with this year, which caused me a lot of videos and adventures, was redneck grebe. I chased it on multiple occasions every time it had been seen, but it had always gone the day that I was there. Really frustrating bird. And then I end up in Somerset, actually getting it in some flooded fields really close, and actually a breeding plumage redneck grebe as well. And it's been one of my favourite birds of the year so far, along with this bobbing jacksnipe, which is just amazing. But there's one destination that everyone doing a big year must go to at some point, and I've been there once already this year and hoping to go back. And that is the East Anglia area, Norfolk and Suffolk. Fantastic birding. As soon as I got up to Norfolk on a multi-day trip, I think I was there for 3 nights, the first bird, the first significant bird that I was able to see pretty much as I arrived was this black-winged kite. And then it's just sat there in the tree, absolute stunner of a bird. What a peach. I think it's just having a rest from the wind, as I would like to do, but to get that in 5 minutes after seeing 3 guys now who've been here for longer than an hour and a half. One of them was here at 9 o'clock this morning, and we're now on about 2:33 p.m. The second time I'd ever seen it in the UK, and supposedly only the second time black-winged kite has been seen in the UK, if we're assuming this is the same bird that I saw earlier on last year in Gloucestershire. And this trip to East Anglia just continued with excellence. I was able to see my first ever glaucous gull. Also saw shorelarks hanging around with snow buntings. Absolutely amazing. Added Iceland gull to that trip as well, amongst many other really cool birds. One of the birds I most wanted to see in Europe, not just the UK, was this red-flanked bluetail.
But I finally got this bloody bird. Amazing. Flicked its little tail, that's why I knew it was it. But yeah, let me see if I can get some footage, hang on. Well, 6.5 hours later, and I got the bird.
Get that after all that time. It's just such an amazing feeling. Another massive highlight of the year has been going up to North Wales and speaking to the biggest twitch.
And I've come all the way to North Wales to meet with former world record-breaking birders to give me a hand to see if I can get past that massive 200 mark. Now the biggest twitch are Alan and Ruth, and they are former world record breakers who did a world big year and at the time broke the all-time record for the number of species seen in a calendar year. So we're here in the car, but I can actually hear just outside my window a black grouse. Just waiting for the light to come so I can get some video footage. So those lecking black grouse, absolutely fantastic to be this close to them, that's amazing. What do you think the 200th bird will be, the next one?
I think almost certainly going to be the white-breasted dipper.
So we've now got out of the car to try and find this dipper, and I'm eagerly awaiting the potential of my 200th bird of the year. Dipper is finally on the list, bird number 200. I'm absolutely over the moon. We are not dipping the dipper, but the dipper is dipping.
And also adding spectacular birds like black guillemot and puffin to the list was just brilliant. I love North Wales. It's a fantastic place to go bird watching, and I thoroughly recommend getting in touch with bird watching trips if you ever go up there. But one of the great things about doing this big year hasn't just been the adventure of my own experiences and the birds that I've seen, but it's also been catching up with different birders along the way. I've had some fantastic chats with eBird #1 here.
You are eBird's #1 lister this year. Has that been hard work?
Yes, I've had to travel enormous miles around the country. Certainly wouldn't call it easy, but especially with people like yourself, hot on my heels, as they say.
I've also had some chats with eBird *2.
How you doing?
Hi, that's about right. Thank you,
Right.
Jared. Right.
Your eBird year's going pretty well then?
Yes, it's the first time I've done a proper list, so I thought I still have the inclination.
Other bird watchers just about to set up their own YouTube channel, Joe and Paul Scory.
How you going, guys?
Bonjour!
How's your year going as well?
Very well.
All these year listers all in one place, what a surprise.
Yeah.
Joe is a young, just turned 16-year-old birdwatcher who's got an impressive list and is normally quite close to me in the league tables. It's been fantastic chatting to him. I've also spoken to another world record breaker in the biking birder.
Tell me a little bit about your style of birding. Everything by bike, is it?
Mostly, and also by Packraft, which is a sort of an inflatable boat, which I used on the Madre de Dios in Peru. But my type of birding is try to be as green as possible.
I'm going to be joined by two other birding YouTubers. All right, Nigel.
Hey.
How's it going? Found somewhere to park the van then?
Just about, yeah.
And the big thing about this year, the big difference is that you're doing it for charity as well. Talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, we're doing it for Birds on the Brink, which is a grant awarding charity which awards small grants to kind of projects around the country and the world given to birds. And then we've got a GoFundMe link on the description of all of our videos this year.
Yep, I'll
So
put it
you
on
guys,
this description as well.
You guys can donate.
I like to try and include a lot of other bird watchers. I want to do a lot more conservation messages within this and just try and hear from other people's perspectives about what the joy of birding means to them. But for me, the biggest trip so far has definitely been the Highlands in Scotland.
So I've just heard a few croaks, and then flying, I've seen my first ever rock ptarmigan. This is a world lifer for me, again like the crested tit.
Lots of adventure here, seeing things like golden eagles, like this one carrying a hare at distance. Amazing views of Scottish crossbill, which I could only identify by capturing sonogram recordings and sending them off to a panel of experts. Very controversial bird, but it is the only current British endemic species that you can actually list. But yeah, fantastic birds up here in Scotland, like this white-winged scoter from America, mega rare. Took me a couple of attempts, but what a fantastic bird to see, and a world lifer in red-breasted flycatcher as well. Absolutely fantastic. And not ignoring some of the local birds that I'd never seen in my life before, like this fantastic crested tit, which we got so close to on multiple occasions. It's just a brilliant bird to see. And a bird that's eluded me a few times in Europe, including Scotland before, but yeah, a brilliant bird to have on the list. So yeah, it's been an incredible year. Lots of birds seen, so many exciting journeys, and so much more to come as well. I'm really looking forward to the Shetland Islands in a few months and the Scilly Isles next month. I've also got a tram ride booked. There are loads of things planned for the rest of the year, and while the birding is definitely going to get harder as I've seen so many more species and haven't got so many easy birds to catch up with anymore, there's still so many people to meet, so many adventures to have, and so many things to see. I'm on 265 species now, which is amazing, and let's just see what we can end up with by the end of the year. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a real pleasure just recapping how everything's gone this year. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll have an even bigger update at the end of the year. Cheers.